Hey, Penny. So now that you guys are nearing the end of spring camp, what's the biggest difference that you see in this year's team compared to last year's?
One thing just right off the bat that I've noticed is that everybody is super competitive. Every day at practice, there's a lot of energy because guys just want to, keep what we had going last year, just keep it rolling. So I just see a lot of competition and a lot of energy on the field.
And what would be the biggest difference within the offense itself?
The offense, I mean, just I heard a lot of things that coach was saying earlier, and I just piggyback of what he said. There's guys that we lost, obviously big playmakers that we had, and it's just basically finding the next man up and who's going to fit in. And so far, there's a lot of people that are looking good. It's just a matter of us getting back into a rhythm that we were in last year.
Lopini, I asked this to A-Rod, and I'll ask you as well. With it being March Madness, who are some of the best basketball players on the team?
Oh, who thinks they're the best or who's actually the best? Because that's two different questions. But
You can reveal the guys who got the big head, but also the guys who are balling out.
who thinks they're the best and might be one of the best? I have to shout out my boy Neil. He thinks he's better than he is probably, but he's still really good. Neil Pau, and then there's a couple of the linemen that I think that would surprise you how they move on the court. Blake Freeland, I know he's dunked on a few guys on the team. A few guys have been victims of him, and then Isaac Rex, I heard he's pretty good too. There's a lot of people on the team that can play basketball.
For you in spring ball, I think this is what now your fifth year or fourth year with the program. What are areas of development you're trying to find, or you feel like you're improving in your game during these spring practices?
Most of all, for me right now, I'm actually dealing with injuries right now, so I'm doing a lot of mental things, and it's actually been beneficial for me to step back and see, what the running back looks like from the outside. And even though I hate watching, but I just see a lot of little things as far as how the offense flows as a whole that I'm picking up on a lot more now. Just seeing where we fit in as a running back in the bigger picture instead of just seeing my single responsibility, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and just one more quick question. I mean, I remember when you say that, the mental side, I remember a couple springs ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, when Zach and a lot of guys were out with injuries. They utilized that time in spring to kind of almost be like coaches in a way to help out the coaching staff. Have you taken on that role with kind of seeing things and healing up your injuries? Have you helped maybe some of the younger guys that are developing in that running back room? And if so, who are some of those guys?
Yeah, there's a few. We have a lot of experience in our room, but a few of us aren't 100% full go right now. So there's a couple that are fairly new. Mason Fakahua and Bo Robinson are two of the guys that are really had to step up this spring and really just be baptized by fire, just jump in. And so I've been able to help them. We're standing on the side if they're not taking many reps that day. I'm in their ear and we're just talking about the plays, and they're asking me, what's this, what's that, what's this signal. And so it's been really good for me to refresh for myself and then also help somebody catch up.
Hey, Peony.
How's it going?
So I asked A-Rod about whether there would be a strategic benefit to not announcing who'd be the starting quarterback until game week and at the end of fall camp, and he said, yeah, that might be the case. As a player, does it matter when the starting quarterback's announced? I mean, you guys are out there playing with all the guys. Does it matter as a player?
I don't know. I don't necessarily think it does, but if our coaches think it does, then great, I'm behind it. But if it's the guy that it's his job, then I think it's great to let it be known. And I feel like it just will make the competition even better, because the other guys will fight even harder. But whatever the coaches feel is the best thing to do with that situation and announcing who's the guy right now, I could see where they're coming from both ways.
I also just wanted to ask you about the perception of how much we talk about it, because, quarterback, big deal at BYU. We're always going to ask you guys, hey, how's it going with the quarterbacks and things like that. Do you guys just do you think it's kind of funny how much attention a quarterback battle gets compared to all of the other battles that go on a daily basis?
No, we all know it's just kind of a joke. Actually, in the locker room, we just laugh about it. How much it's focused on, which is for good reason. It's a big role. It's an important job on our team. So yeah, if anything, we just play along and joke along with the quarterbacks and put the pressure on them even more.
Pini, you mentioned the fact that you're kind of in an advisory role, I guess, a little bit, where you're helping these younger players out. I wanted to ask you about Tyler Algiere and Sione Finau, though. What are you seeing from them out there?
They look really good. These guys are they have so much experience now. They're veteran guys, and they look like it on the field. They know what they're doing. It's just a matter of them, just little detail things now. They're just cleaning up things that they didn't have to worry about in the past because they were trying to learn the offense or whatever that is. But now they're just playing loose, and they look really good. I really like what I'm seeing from them.
And then just overall as an offense, you guys obviously you lose Zach, you lose Dax, Brady's gone, much guys along that offensive line. Do you feel like you guys can be as good on offense this year as you were last year?
Yeah, I think we can for sure. I think we can be better in a lot of ways because of what we saw last year. What we saw was possible. I think we have the guys to just keep that climbing. We don't have to stop and regroup like that. Like as soon as we find the guys, we can just build off of what we had last year. And I honestly believe that we can be better than we were last year.
What are you seeing from the quarterbacks? Give me your taste of what you're seeing from Jaron and from Baylor and the young guys Soljay and Jacob.
Yeah, so we've obviously seen a lot of Jaron and Baylor, and we have a good idea of them. They're great. They can win games. They've already proved it. And then there's a lot of the younger two are really hungry. So it's actually it's a really good battle every day. All the quarterbacks are battling. There's things that they're great at, and then there's things that they all have to work on, just like any of us. So it's just cool to see the competition and to know, the guy that they're replacing. They know that they have a big role to play. They don't have to be Zach, but they know they have to win games.
We all know that Zach is a really good basketball player. Who's the best basketball player among the quarterbacks? Do you know? Have you seen any of them?
I think Baylor will tell you he is. Soljay, I think they all might tell you they are. I think they're all pretty good. I couldn't say. They actually are really all good. I've played with at least 3 of them. And, yeah, the quarterbacks they're a good basketball group right there. I can't say one or the other.
Thank you.
All right. I think that's all of the questions for today. Thanks for joining us.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, Beanie.
Appreciate it.